Hey, all, Brad here. Got another quick video, hopefully. Local friend of mine, Mitch, is in the process of opening up a arcade, a museum, and he had a couple Williams games in there he wanted me to come out and take a look at, and I went out there. Beautiful setup. Um, Defender was the one he was most concerned with. It was getting some RAM errors, wasn't booting right. So I ended up pulling the whole plate on Defender. All the boards are on one plate pretty much. He's running a switching power supply in there. The original linear is still in there. We decided to stick with the switcher because it is going to be on a location, getting a lot of, it'll be running a lot. So I pulled the whole plate with all the boards, brought them home, and went through each board independently, and then put them all back on the plate. And we're going to go through some explaining what I did and some gameplay. So with that, I'm going to switch over to the bench camera here, and we'll go over everything. So this board, he had. Let me grab this real quick. He or somebody earlier had converted the RAM, the 24 um, DRAM from 4116, which requires 3 voltages, over to the 4164, which is a single 5 voltage. And with that, it was kind of old school here, is the Bob Roberts adapter. So you unplug your harness from the MPU, you plug this into it, and then you plug your harness back in. I've got a pretty clean mod that I do now on the back side of the connector. No modifications to the board needed. What I end up doing here is you just cut an extra pin, you cut the minus 5 volt, and then you bridge underneath to bring that 5 volt over to where the 12 volt came in. And doesn't require any jumpers or anything like that. So it's much cleaner. So we took the board, cleaned it up, got rid of the old battery holder at CR2032 and a big ugly jumper wire and flux all over the place. So got a CR2450 now, which with Defender with this 5101 RAM for the NV or for the persistent settings, this battery will last a lot longer than the CR2032. We filled in all the where the old AA holder is in real nice here, polished everything up. Coming down the board, I did put the Zener diode in. I've talked about before on other videos. This is a 4.7, so if you're running a switcher, it'll pretty much eliminate any chance of getting corrupted um, settings, high scores and all that kind of stuff. Because what happens is as soon as that voltage reaches 4.7, it pulls the CPU here into reset. And then I also replaced, they had a radial leaded aluminum electrolytic cap here, so I put a nice tantalum in, axial leaded. We put some new Nichicon filter caps in for the 3 voltages. Not that we have all three now, but it still looks good. And then we put all new square pin Molex headers in all three locations for the video, the interlock, the memory protect, and then the power. And then coming back here on the ROM board, brand new 3M ribbon cable. I make these up. All new Molex headers, new filter cap over here. These two clips are just picking up 5 volts for my video adapter for the bench setup. I/O board was a real mess. It had some big disc capacitors and all kinds of stuff. Somebody had socketed the PIA here, and the PIA they actually used. I think the original was an AMI. The leads were pretty rough, so I just got rid of that and put a new PIA. I didn't even test the old one. Put a bunch of the glass passivated decoupling capacitors back in. We've got a new Nichicon filter cap, new ribbon cable, two new 10-pin Molex headers. Got rid of all the gobs of flux all over the board and polished it up. And then on the soundboard back here, it was missing a cap here. The 4700 was just completely missing. These ones were replaced pretty new. I cleaned them up, pulled the fuses out, cleaned those, put all new Molex headers on. It had a 6802 CPU, which there's a jumper setting basically. You have to cut a trace, but it'll force it to use the internal RAM in lieu of the 6810 here. So if you've got a 6802 CPU in the board, there's no reason to rely on this external RAM. These do fail. So I cut that jumper. So now the CPU is addressing all the RAM internally now. So that's a much better setup. And then again, everything, I did put some tantalum decoupling caps here. They again had some big nasty radial leaded aluminum electrolytics on there. So much cleaner. Rerouted the volume pot behind the board. It comes up here. Wiped everything down. So I do have everything set up on the bench with the controls and all that and audio hooked up. So we'll go through and do boot it up, do some gameplay, and then we'll wrap the video up here pretty shortly. And also, again, when I do customer work, I return all the old parts. So there's the ribbon cables and all the headers and all those big caps I was talking about, those disc capacitors. There's a PIA in there, 6821. Got the old CR2032 battery. There was a bad EEPROM also, I forgot, on the ROM board, a 2532 in position 3. Just if you twisted it, it would have reboot the game. And these are the gold legs, and there was one of them that was pretty short, it had broken, so I just replaced it. And then all the old caps in there. So I'm gonna, again, I've got a remote control here on the bench. I'm gonna hit power on. Try to get myself centered here a little bit better, maybe. So you can see the settings, the battery, all that's working because she booted right into a track mode, which is great. So I'm going to go ahead and coin it up. I'm getting a little latency on the audio through this capture device. So anyway, it's playing great. Everything's rock solid. So I'm going to let her run overnight so we get a good 24-hour burn-in on it, and then probably head back out to his place maybe tomorrow and get it installed. So thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you later.